Hello and welcome to Freedom Through Astrology, where we're giving you the keys to living your best life. And it's freedomthroughastrology.com, and it's THRU because it is all about you. My name is Donald Patak. I'm your astrologer, and that's my contact information and standard YouTube copyright. A few keys to the reading, because I do read a little bit differently when you compare the way I read to other astrologers. First of all, I'm using what's called sidereal astrology, or more simply put, the visible sky. In ancient times, they read this. They read astrology as astronomers. So where the planet was in the sky is where they read it. That's what I do. Tropical astrology fixes the signs to seasons. I prefer to do it the older way. I think it's much more accurate. I'm also using the natural size of the constellations. Some astrologers fix every sign to 30 degrees, or they use the IAU bound. Oh, that's the next thing. Some astrologers fix it to 30 degrees. The constellations are all over the place. Virgo is just around over 45 degrees. Aries is under 25. They're all over the place. So I'm using the natural size of the signs. I'm using astrological midpoints as well. The IAU boundaries are arbitrarily drawn. Wherever they felt like putting them is where they put them. Athen Shimenti came up with astrological midpoints where he looks at the zodiac belt, it compares the constellations, finds where what the halfway point is. I use that. I think it's again more accurate. In ancient times, there were 13 signs. The missing sign, or the sign that was taken out, is a fucus, is the wounded healer. It's a man holding a snake by the head and tail, which symbolizes knowledge or use of knowledge. So it's where you're wounded so that you can learn to heal yourself and then heal others with similar wounds. And again, it's there. There's no arguing about it with me. So I do use 13 signs. These are the weekly transits, which are universal lessons for all people. So I'm reading planet and a sign. I'm not doing the house. If you want that, I can do that for you privately. Contact me. We'll make the arrangements. And finally, I read with what's called evolutionary astrology, which means that these are lessons to learn. I believe the planets, the signs, houses, etc., are offering you lessons, and that when you learn the lessons, that's how you get better in life and find and fulfill your purpose for your life, and even happiness, who knows. This is the weekly transit report for April 29th through May 5th, 2024. The moon is actually relatively stable this week. This week is a little bit busy because of things that are happening. The moon is actually our point of stability, with it being in Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. It's only moving through 4 signs, and so that does make it a little bit more stable than when it jumps to a sign a day. So moon relatively stable. We have 2 planets changing signs, Venus and Uranus. I also have a cat on my shoulder. This is our kitten commercial. Yes, he does have a nice coat. So Venus and Uranus are changing signs. Pluto is moving station retrograde, which is everybody is going to feel. Let me get back a slide. Nope. No, previous. I love how my cats play with things. Venus and Uranus are changing signs. Pluto's moving station retrograde, which means it's going to look like it's moving backwards in the sky. It's just a time of reflection on how you're transforming and the way you're transforming yourself. Our power planets for this week actually wind up being Pluto and Mars. They're the planets that have the most aspects. That's why I'm calling them our power planets. I may continue that cliche. I don't know. All right, so let's take a look at our week where the planets are falling. And as you take a look, things are actually happening pretty steady throughout the week, with the exception of that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame. That's where a lot of things are happening. That's actually where the Pluto retrograde happens. So that's, if you're feeling stuck towards the middle, towards the end of the week, that's the reason why. Otherwise, the transits that we do have are fairly stable. All right, now our holdovers from last week. This started on Saturday. Mars, courage and assertiveness, is conjunct or joined with Neptune. The ability just to sit there and chill out, man. So it's the courage to be still and receive a vision for your life, ideally. The courage to do the deep spiritual work, and it's in Pisces, which is about transcendence and rising above, seeing things from a different perspective, a different point of view. So this winds up being time to do serious spiritual work. Take time to challenge your beliefs and act on them. What are your spiritual beliefs? Examine them. Have the courage to actually examine what you believe and why, and if that can help you transform and grow. The shadow and defending delusion or spiritual excesses is just missing the boat altogether. And also be careful of trying to force your beliefs onto others or having others impress or impose their beliefs on you. When I was looking at that, Mars, in the shadow is fear, spiritual fear. If you want to talk about, I'm going to put this in quote, the fundamentalist religions, and this can happen in any faith where they try to impose their religious views on other people. This is why, and this is where it comes from, the Mars Neptune. So, sorry about that. A little bit of a sinus thing here going. So Mars conjunct Neptune. The shadow of that is you trying to impose your spiritual beliefs on other people or having their beliefs imposed on you. Resist, say no, go. It is a time for you to have the strength to sit still, be open to receiving vision, receiving inspiration for yourself, and know that it does apply to you. And that ends, I think, Tuesday. My bad, Tuesday. On Sunday, the moon enters Sagittarius. Emotionally, you're up for Sagittarian events. The Sagittarius likes to get up, go out, and explore. Sagittarius and Gemini, the two curious signs. Gemini feels at home in the library. Sagittarius feels at home in the world. So getting up, going out and exploring the world, exploring new ideas, new opportunities. It's time for new experiences and fresh ideas. Get up and go out and search for them. Be open to them and be open to synchronicities as well. If you get up and decide to do something, something good could happen or something unexpected could happen that works in your favor. You know, the shadow of the moon is, of course, moodiness, and Sagittarius can get very self-righteous and can be a stick stuck in the mud just as much as everybody else. Be careful falling into self-righteous attitudes and about this status and falling into the status quo. That will hold you back and you will completely miss this opportunity. So this is an opportunity for you to get up, go out and discover something new, bigger, better, and brighter, hopefully. That started on Sunday and that goes until Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. And Tuesday, this gets interesting. This whole timeline, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, gets interesting because we have some transits that involve the sign changes and retrogrades. So we have Venus starts out the day in Pisces. In the morning, it's going to be in Pisces. In the evening, it's going to be in Aries, in a square, in a challenge to Pluto in Capricorn. So Venus is going to change signs and Pluto is going to go from moving forward to station direct and then retrograde. So that's going to make this transit a little bit harder than the average, your average transit. But Venus, working on relationships, being receptive, open to people, receiving help from people, also creativity. Excuse me. And squares are challenges. And if you think about it, it's a stepping stone. This is the first challenge of this transit, actually. Hold on a second. Nope, don't want the cat knocking that over. Okay, so this is a challenge. This is building strength. Think of a weightlifter picking up weights. If you're to run up the Empire State Building, you of course be strengthening your legs. You know, the stairs, and that. So this is an opportunity to build strength and perseverance. It's also the first challenges of this. And Pluto in Capricorn is doing transformational work. So the challenge is transforming your abilities in relationships. Venus starts out in Pisces, so it's seeing things from a different perspective and seeing your relationships in a different perspective. And then it moves into Aries. And I'm going to talk about Venus in Aries next, but that's having the courage to stand up and go out and be recognized in your relationships and to take action on your relationships. So it's time to working on deepening your relationships. Have the courage to do so. Take the time to deal with uncomfortable insights that come up, and also learn more about trust and who to trust as well. So this is the challenge of building trust in your relationships as well. Be careful of deepening wounds in relationships and psychological projection. This is you projecting what you think is going on in the relationship onto other people instead of what's really happening. So that's kind of a warning there. Like I say, this is a square. Squares are challenges. It builds strength. If you take a look at the pyramids off at a distance, they look like triangles. When you get up close, they're built on squares, perfect 90-degree angles. And it's that tension that builds strength and stability. So this could be transforming your ability to build strong relationships. And it's a quick transit. It actually starts Tuesday and is over Wednesday. And on Tuesday, Venus, planet of relationships, creativity, being open to other people, steps into Aries. Aries gets a little busy. Pisces and Aries are really busy right now. So Venus, again, like I said, relationships, working with other people, how you work with other people, being able to receive help from them. Also creativity, you know, your music and your arts. I'm saying more the music, I think, in this realm, the physical, you know, music and possibly the physical arts, as opposed to acting and things of that nature. But and in Aries, learning courage and being able to assert yourself. And assertiveness means standing up for yourself and respecting other person. And this can actually help build a relationship, because if you're doing it properly, even in a tough discussion and tough conversation, you asserted yourself and the other person feels respected, and you both learn, and it actually can help the relationship. So learn to have courage and face the truths in your relationships. Expect opportunities to be open and direct with others. Also, learn to have honest conversations that can clear the air. You know, this is a time actually to build stronger relationships. Be careful of being intimidated or shamed or controlled by others. That's a symbol of fear. And you can't have a relationship based on fear, you know. Also, being overly defensive or aggressive is something to avoid as well. Being too pushy, too angry, or too much of a pushover. Finally, avoiding hard conversations can make relationships worse down the road. Yeah, there are hard discussions that need to happen, but avoiding them right now is a good time to have them. Make sure you're both in a good space to have that conversation. But if you avoid the conversation now, later on, things just get worse. And Tuesday also, you know, Tuesday is part of our busy day of the week. The moon, your emotional self, enters Capricorn. Emotionally, time you're ready for a challenge and to get stuff done and do things. If there's a task you really need to get done and you're looking for the emotional energy, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday is really good time to start, because you've got the internal attitude to be able to do it. One second. So it's time for a challenge. Look for a task that is worth your effort. So make sure it's an important task. Avoid focusing on others or becoming uptight or tense, as this can lead to loneliness for you. So the bright side for you is to focus on the task and undertaking the challenge, because it's a challenge for you. Avoid imposing this on others and trying to control others and force them to do it for you. If you're doing that, you're missing the point. The moon will also be in its last quarter here. So this is the final quarter before we approach the next new moon. So, excuse me. And I believe the next new moon is going to be in Taurus, either the end of Aries or beginning of Taurus. I can't remember off the top of my head. But this is the last quarter. It will happen in Capricorn, so this will be a challenge. So expect a challenge, an emotional challenge in this time. But know that if you work through it, again, it's building strength. Squares are about building strength and accepting the challenge. And what is also happening at this time? Pluto moves station retrograde. And what that means is it's going to look like Pluto standing still in the sky. Okay, kitten commercial. There we go. All right. It's going to look like Pluto is standing still in the sky. You may feel stuck. You know, you're trying to transform, trying to do work on changing. You may feel stuck. That is just because of the retrograde. Take a deep breath and take a pause, because this is going to happen for this is going to go over 3 days, the first, second, and third. On the slide there, it starts in May and it ends in October. I thought that that was more important information to have than how many days it's going to be sitting still. But it's a 3-day period, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're trying to do deep transformational work, you might feel a little stuck. That's the reason why. Pluto, your ability to transform is pausing. So focus on the deep internal transformation and do the work on yourself. And it's time to take a deep dive into yourself. So this is a time for you to do the internal work and internal transformation, because the internal transformation precedes the changing of the world. Also, just as a side note here, during this retrograde, Pluto is going to move back into Sagittarius. So this one right now, I'm just going to focus on Capricorn. So when it does move back into Sagittarius, I will give a new interpretation based on that event. So this is going to be a very long, like I said, it's a very long transit, but a lot is going to happen during it. So we will have a sign change. So be careful. So focus on deep internal transformation. You're doing the deep internal work because, like I say, the internal world changes, the external world changes. That's what you're focusing on, transforming your inner self. Be careful of holding back feelings and developing a thick skin. I'm not going to say a thick skin. It's good to have a thick skin and just let some things blow off. If it's too thick, then that's where you wind up with problems. Learn to work through the hurt is a little side note that I have here. Also, watch out if you attack others with similar wounds. It is very likely that people that in your life have the similar wounds to you. You know, like attracts like. And during this retrograde, it is possible for people with similar wounds to attack each other. You know, you're a hypocrite because la da da. It's easier for me to point out we both have, hypothetically, we both have the same issues. It's easier for me to see them in you than see them in myself. So it's easier for me to attack you and give you advice that you may not need or be ready for. And you'll see my flaws a lot easier than I will. So be careful of doing that the wrong way, because you can actually inflict more damage. I'll talk about that later. These people that have similar wounds are meant to be a mirror for you, not a target. So when you see people who have similar wounds, ask yourself, how are my wounds showing up in them? And then that'll help you transform and make use of this. Like I said, Pluto will retrograde into Sagittarius. When that happens, I will make that available. And during this time, Mars is in a sextile to Pluto. So Mars in Pisces, Mars having courage to Pluto, transform. And because it's retrograde, this is inner transformation. It's the courage to be still. Mars in Pisces, the spiritual warrior, sextile, excited to do the internal spiritual transformation. I think that's an important part of this journey. Have the courage to do the deep inner work and ask the challenging questions of yourself. Face the deep truths and deep realities of your life. Where are you really? Where are you really spiritually? How are you growing and changing? And if you're not growing, staying still is not necessarily a great option. Life is about growing. Be careful of forcing others to see your truth as the only one. Avoid hot drama and acting out of wounds. This can make them deeper. Everybody has, for lack of a better term, everybody does have their own truths, and they learn their truth. And they learn truth at their pace, in their way. So be careful of trying to force where you are on other people, as it can get messy. And know that everybody's on a different point in this path. Yes, we're all going through it, but my question is going to be, what houses? If you take a look at this inner circle, those are the different houses and areas of life. Everybody's going to be experiencing this in different areas of their life. So you trying to impose what's happening to you on other people is going to be a disaster. And these are two. Mars is the slowest moving of the fast movers, and Pluto is 248 years around the sun. Likes to take his time. A good bottle of wine there, you know. Maturity, transformation takes time. I think that's a good lesson. So it's having courage to take the time to do the transformation. But this is going to be a little bit longer transit, because they are they're the two slow movers. Mars is the slowest mover. The inner planets takes 2 years to orbit the sun, and Pluto, like I said, takes 248 plus years to get around. On Thursday, the moon enters Aquarius. Moon, your emotions are ready for some Aquarian energy, a little independence. Okay, so and authenticity. I think authenticity is the better word there. Emotional authenticity. Your kitten commercial again. I have no idea why he's so clingy around me right now. This is not like him. Usually he leaves me alone, but he's all over me right now. Whatever. I think because I mentioned Aquarius, and if you look at his coat, it's really, really wild, and he fits the Aquarius attitude. It's time to free yourself from the approval and judgment of others. Look for new paths that lead you to a better understanding of yourself. Um, Watch out for self-betrayal that can come from either giving in to others, or the other shadow of Aquarius is being wildly eccentric, sticking out like a sore thumb, basically. You know, the shock, doing something for shock value, not because it's really authentic to you and who you are. So be careful of those two types of betrayal. Yeah. Friday, another big day this week. Uranus enters Taurus. Hold on a second. Yes, Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius, and guess who shows up again? I'm just gonna hold him here, buddy. Uranus, the planet that teaches you authenticity and individuality, is entering Taurus, the planet of peace and stability. So it's becoming stable in your independence and your authenticity, and stable in being your real self, and this is going to take many years for Uranus to transit through Taurus. So this is building your identity and building your authenticity and making it strong and stable. Experience the ability to strengthen your true individuality. This can help you experience a greater sense of peace and freedom in your life. Take time and find your own peace at your own pace. I always tell people, if you want to understand Taurus really good, go to your library and sign out the book Ferdinand the Bull. It's in the children's section. It explains Taurus so well. All the world's going crazy screaming at him, and he just wants to be Ferdinand. And he's going to be Ferdinand. It really helps you understand Taurus. Also, spend time in nature if you can. Taurus likes to get outside. This is going to encompass many seasons. So spring, summer, autumn, winter. Get outside if you can. It can help you. You know, we're not meant to spend our entire lives inside. And who knows what nature can teach you, the animals, plants, flowers, etc. Be careful, warning, of giving into peer pressure, trying to be a square peg in a round hole, do things to please people. Also, being of too stubborn or unyielding in a way that appears to be symbolic or superficial. Yeah. these are nothing more than lost battles. Fighting the wrong battle and fighting the wrong people, knowing what battles to fight over your individuality is important. There are people who are going to try to own you and control you. There's a way to resist them so that they leave you alone. But then there are people who they're just trying to push your buttons and get a reaction. Those are the battles to just learn to be Ferdinand for. Be mindful of mistaking quirks or eccentric behavior for authenticity, doing something just to get a reaction from people, and I'm thinking this is in Taurus, streaking at a football game is perfectly quirky, not something you really want to do. That's an example of getting a reaction for doing something. I don't understand why people do that. Okay. But yes, and Saturday, the moon enters Pisces. Emotionally, you're ready to take time and seek a vision for your life and higher inspiration. Open yourself up emotionally to that and be open and available for spiritual experiences, higher vision. See, this is an opportunity for growth and renewal. Perfect on the weekend, time for you to just sit back, reflect on the week, and seek about a higher understanding. Pisces is about transcendence, so maybe take a little bit of time to reflect on the week. What happened? Where could you have done better? How could you have done better? And what lessons can you learn? And how can you use those to help you grow and get ready for the next upcoming week? Avoid total withdrawal, escape from others or for the world, avoiding inspiration, and just trying to escape and numb yourself to the pains and trials of life is missing this opportunity as well. And there's a lot of opportunities for you to, with these lunar transits going through here. Again, the moon's going to hit Neptune here, so spirituality, courage, destiny, learning, communication, healing. There's a lot that the moon can experience as it transits through Pisces. Be open to them all because they can help you. And Sunday, the energy does pick up a little bit. Mercury is conjunct Chiron in Pisces. So Mercury, learning and communication, joined with Chiron, the planet of healing. So it can be healing your ability to learn and communicate. You can be learning how to heal or learning new ways of communicating with people. Also, in Pisces, this is about transcendence. So, learning how to heal and transcend the wounds in your abilities to learn and communicate. You may experience higher knowledge or learning that can help you heal and understand what happened, why it happened from a higher perspective, and use that as a point of healing. Shadows falling deeper into the wounds of the past and feeling more like a know-it-all or that you can't learn at all. Either way, learning gets shut down and the wounds are made deeper and can last longer. And Sunday, we have the sun in Aries in sextile to Saturn in Aquarius. There we go. Yeah. Sun, yeah, the sun and sun. I'm looking, sun, Saturn. What? Okay, yeah. So the sun and Saturn, sun is your identity, it's your ego. You came here to learn how to have a healthy ego. So do take a look at your sun sign. Where in your sun sign do you need to learn Aries, courage and assertiveness? And in a sextile to Saturn, Saturn is the great work on Aquarius of being authentic. So, and a sextile is about excitement. This is interest and excitement. So where could you be excited to learn authenticity and doing that work of being more authentic in your life and being who you truly are and really are? So it's time to integrate that self-discipline, integrity, and maturity into your identity. And it's your authentic and who you are really. And doing things your way, in a way. Also may be a time to face and create the greater work of your life. What is that great work of your life? And how can you work with it more? The shadow, the sun can be the ego out of control and running roughshod, or think of a dark star or a black hole, a star that doesn't want to shine, in fact, sucks the energy out of everything. And Saturn can just be, I mean, Saturn is about doing the work. During the work, the shadow of Saturn is just shutting down. You can't fight City Hall, and this is an impossible task. And so that's about giving up and selling out. Be careful seeing everything as impossible and getting stuck in the past and stuck in a rut. This can lead to loneliness and feeling defeated, and selling out if you know trying to become who people say you should be rather than who you really are will lead to loneliness. You're trying to be a square peg in a round hole is not who you came here to be. So, and that is our final transit for the week. That's where we will begin next week. Anything else I want to say on that? It's like I feel like I'm missing something. No. Well, if it comes to me, I'll post it in the comments. So you can follow me on social media. If you go to freedomthroughastrology.com and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Digital Soul Space. Digital Soul Space is a spiritual, it's a private website. There's a free and a paid version. You're saying, why do I want to pay for a site? These places are all free. They are making billions of dollars off of your data. Digital Soul Space, any money that gets paid to it is used to upkeep the site only, and it's sponsored by the Mighty Networks, which is focused on your privacy. So that's always great. And it's many different modalities in there. There is astrology, crystals, oracle cards, tarot, Native American, you name it, it's in there. Ask a question, and it's a troll-free zone. That's the other thing about it, which is great, is where there are trolls and bogus people there. Troll-free zone here. Okay, let me go to here. Let me pause for a second. And hopefully this is back to recording. This is Freedom Through Astrology website. This is my current website, freedomthroughastrology.com. I just want to make sure, is this still? Okay, I guess this is recording. freedomthroughastrology.com. This is my website. Still working on updating and fixing, adding new things. Intro, the different set of keys. So quick 6 reading. If you want to see how your chart changes, I offer birth chart, past life, quick pick, which is a combined reading. And I also do transit readings. So life cycle, yearly horoscope, quarterly, monthly, and then I have packages, big picture, 4 seasons and through the year. All these, you buy them, there is a 10% discount, I believe, figured into all of them. So want to schedule that. If you click on subscribe, that's your newsletter sign up. That's where you get a weekly newsletter, summary of major events, astrological insight, exclusive subscriber only discounts, offers. If I do any live appearances and at events, which are going to be coming up soon, that's where you'll find out about them. If you click on scheduling, this is where you can schedule the appointments. This and the services page, which is where you would order recordings, are going to be changing in the next few weeks. But this is how you schedule me. And if you click on blog, you can see that's where you'll see the weekly transits. And I do write at least one blog article a day where I take a transit deeper. I do a deeper dive on at least one transit usually, sometimes 2. But there you go. That's freedomthroughastrology.com. Let me go back to here, current slide. So follow me, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I would like to thank you for watching this. Like, follow, share. Follow me on YouTube as well. I don't know why I have to put that in there. Follow me on YouTube if you're finding this and you like what you hear. Follow me on YouTube as well. Subscribe for my newsletter. Thank you very much. I hope you have the best week possible. Hopefully you found this useful. Thank you very much. Have a good week.